Oh, yeah? Well, so's your face. Stop touching my magic phone. Well, you're mistaken.
Bidka?
Hey,
You're really campaigning for Bitch of the Year, aren't you?
I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
If we can focus, keep discipline, and not have quite as many mysterious deaths, Sunnydale is gonna rule!
Hey, Scoobies! Hey! Welcome to episode 55 of Garagcast, the Buffy and Angel recap podcast that brings together Slayer aficionados and virgins as we watch and review every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and no longer speak the creator's name. I am Brandon Ellison.
I'm Jewel Rocket Rose, and I'm having my own private dance party to our theme song. I was having a good time.
I know, usually you're like theme song. That is 45 seconds, plenty of time to apply a new face of makeup and go for a jog and then come back.
Let's not even lie. I definitely ran and went to pee, and then I sat down. I had a couple of seconds, and I was like, listen. I was into it.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Still, you like us. You really like us.
Listen, I am the Sally Field of this world. I'm shocked that people listen to me or care.
I am the Sally Jesse Raphael of this world. I wear fun glasses and climb trees. And if you don't follow Sally Jesse Raphael on Twitter, you should, because that bitch crazy.
She is? Oh, I want to know her.
She climbs coconut trees and stuff. She's a lunatic.
She's Cocoa Nuts.
Sarah, yes, we see you. We see you, Sarah. Hi. Okay.
Hey, girl, hey.
So, Jewel, this week we're talking about the Buffy episode, The Replacement, and the Angel episode, First Impressions.
I'm just saying they should have made a replacement.
We got to cut that out because we got an interview.
Shut.
Cut. No, it's all good. So I
just think maybe we need to talk through the plot of that episode because I got lost.
We need to talk through the plot of that episode, which is not a complicated episode at all. And then we need to talk about first impressions on Angel. Before we do that, what have you been watching this week?
Obviously, my mouth, because clearly, I've had so much to say. Okay. So I've been watching that documentary on that Lori Vallow person, the mom. No, she's the mom who was like married 5 times. They call her like the gravedigger's wife because the final husband was a gravedigger, also a conspiracy theorist, like all the things. And she killed her 2 kids. She buried them in Yellowstone Park and then went off to Hawaii and was like, bye.
What does that have to do with her being a conspiracy theorist?
No, because she believed the reason why she killed the kids is because there's 144,000 people that have been pre-selected on this planet to make it to the next level.
Oh, she's a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, that's a Jehovah's Witness thing.
No. There's 144,000, and then so she killed her kids because they weren't part of it, and that's because her husband told her it was because he was writing doomsday books.
And he's like, "We're gonna be okay, but the kids are not gonna go to heaven."
He was like, they're not part of the plan, girl. Like, off him. He offed his wife. She offed her other husband. And then she offed her fucking kids. And killed her brother. I mean, she did some damage, this woman.
Weird.
Also, I watched the Nexium story again because I found out that India's now husband, I believe, India Oxenberg's now husband, Mr. India Oxenberg,
yes,
works around the corner from my house at this restaurant. And I was like, ooh, I might eat there. Absolutely not.
Jewel, there on last night's SNL episode, there's a whole music video about murder and cult TV shows.
I was going to say, okay, that was on my list to talk to you about today. Obviously, you guys, I'm still in my jammies. Like, we're not, like, this is a Sunday for rest and relax. It was a snow moon this week, which is a hunger moon. So if you're hungry, it's because it's winter. Also, did you know what it means when bears hibernate? Did you hear about this? Like, when you hear that bears hibernate, what does that mean to you? Does it mean to you that they crawl into a cave and sleep for 4 fucking months?
Yeah, and they eat a whole bunch of food before they do it, like me every day.
That's not what hibernation is.
Okay.
How blown is your mind right now? What it is?
Their body goes into, like, crazy metabolism, right?
No, they slow. What it is because in the winter there's not enough food for them to like sustain themselves the way they do in the summer. So they gorge in the fall, so they get real fat. So that when they find just like snacks and stuff, all they do is like slow down their bodies. You guys,
Yes.
I have a lot of thoughts. I've been alone for 2 days, which has been nice. But also,
okay.
I had no one to talk to.
Yeah, Jules' ADD is in full force today. This is going to be a fun one. Speaking of last night's SNL, Nick Jonas hosted, and he was hilarious, and he's beautiful, and I liked both of his songs. And I've always kind of been
disagree.
lukewarm.
That spaceman shit was weird as all get. No, you didn't. Stop lying.
I did, but I like the second one better when he's dressed like Blanche from Golden Girls and singing that other song.
That 70s power Don Johnson suit was
That's
everything
not a Don
I
Johnson
needed it
suit.
to
That's
be.
a Lily Tomlin suit.
You're so right. I applaud him. You go for it. You go, Glenn Coco.
He was great. Also, on Hulu, the United States versus Billie Holiday is out. Jill and I have a mutual friend who wrote the book that it's based on. And then my friend Andra Day plays Billie Holiday in it.
Girlfriend, I know Andra as well.
And Jill knows Andra as well.
I have spent some Christmas Eve dinners with her.
Yeah, so watch the movie. She's fabulous.
Not Christmas Eve, Christmas celebration.
Gotcha. It's a fabulous story. Not fabulous. It's a depressing story. It's a horrible.
It's Billie Holiday's story. It's very sad, but also she's a beautiful
the story
singer.
Of like the history of drug prohibition in the U.S. and how it comes out of alcohol prohibition and just how many lives it's destroyed. And highly, highly recommend it. If you like music, if you like politics, if you like history, highly recommend it.
Or if you just like badass singers with badass acting, because
Correct.
she's amazing.
Correct.
I think she is so underrated. She's so good.
Also, Jill, I need to talk to you about something because this is very important. And if anyone would know, you would. I need to be cast on Name That Tune. I am so good at it. I sit and watch it. I get every song. Jane Krakowski is life. I Googled it, and they film it in Australia with Americans living in Australia. I will go to Australia to be a guest on that show.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Name That Tune. It's on Fox. It's Jane Krakowski. It's Randy Jackson. They play music, like a couple bars of a song or a couple notes of a song, and you have to figure out like what song it is. And sometimes they give you little clues. It's like from a show from the 60s or 70s.
Yes. Okay. But why are they using Australians?
Because they filmed it in Australia because they don't have to do the whole like COVID shit because they don't really have COVID down there. So they filmed it down there with an Australian audience, but with Americans living in Australia.
That's going to mess up our lingo. We're going to have some new words coming out of this. New slang words.
You don't actually know. You can't really tell that they're Australian because obviously Jane is American. The contestants are American. Randy's American. It's shot so it looks like it's shot in America, but everyone's close to each other and singing along to the songs. You're like, what the hell's happening? And
Brandon, are you sure that it's... Where did you read this Australian thing?
Googled it, and it's also on the Wikipedia page for the show as well, where it talks about the whole Australia thing. They film it in Australia. Yeah. So I want to be on that show real bad. I would kill on that show. So if anyone who's listening has any connections to Name That Tune, I will also take a weakest link with Jane Lynch if Name That Tune is not available. But I would prefer Name That Tune.
I thought you were going to Mexico. Where are we going? Australia or Mexico?
Oh, well, that's a good question. For now, I'm going to Mexico on Sunday of next week, which is why we're going to record our show on Saturday.
What are you going to be doing in the Mexico?
I'm going to be working with rescue puppies, which I'm super excited for. It's like a house that has volunteers living with puppies and like training them and taking them for walks and socializing them and getting them just general, and I love the concept because I've only rescued dogs. Like any dogs I've ever had have been rescues. And sometimes when you get rescue dogs, they've been in a kennel for so long or they've been not socialized other than, for very short batches for so long that they're kind of traumatized when you put them in a house. They don't really know what to do and they forget their training and whatever. I like the idea of in the house, like living with them with other people and getting everybody just like whatever, and also going to bed with in a bed full of dogs is my dream.
Well, yeah. So yeah. I sleep with 2 dogs every night.
Yeah, I had 3 big dogs that I would sleep with. You met my dogs in Vegas.
Yes, I did. I love Allie McBeal still remote.
Yes, she's living with my friends James and Tara now, and they love her. So anywho, Let's talk. We're 10 minutes in, so we might as well talk about Buffy and Angel since it is the podcast that we have agreed to do.
I just don't want to. Fine. Okay. Explain to me what happened in Buffy because
Okay.
Like the story could not have been like that dumb and simple.
So when a crafty demon out Buffy hunting accidentally catches Xander in his sights, a mysterious Xander double is born. 2 Xanders are better than 1 as the evil double quickly takes over Xander's identity, fooling everyone, including Buffy, and starts living Xander's life with a flourish. So this episode
You have
opens...
put together Xander.
Now,
and
we haven't
Doofy
had a Xander episode in quite some time.
Is there a reason for that?
You gotta stop that. I have to cut this out.
No, because what I'm saying is that the storyline for this one has bounced so many different ways. Why is Dawn here?
Okay, cool. Nice save. So Xander and Anya are there. They're watching a movie with Buffy and Riley, and Xander's parents are fighting upstairs, and everybody is just like, I don't know why they still hang out at Xander's house when Xander lives in a basement and is miserable, but they do. And so Xander decides, I'm going to go apartment hunting. He finds this gorgeous apartment, which nobody in Los Angeles could ever afford, but it's I guess maybe Sunnydale is cheaper.
Well, yes, because it's not Los Angeles, so it would be a normal price, like in normal inland California, so probably like $500 a month.
You think so?
I feel like, where is Sunnydale?
Didn't we decide Sunnydale was like Santa Monica?
No, it can't be.
Or like Torrance or something?
It has to be like
West Covina.
Reseda.
I bet you could live in West Covina for $500 a month, because like the only jobs in West Covina are that you sell drugs with Bitcoins or something.
No. West Covina is like up and coming. I believe that their rents are a lot more than that now.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't know.
Naomi and BJ both say Sunnydale real estate is cheap because of the hellmouth and the death rate.
Thank you. God, this is why we need them to anchor us sometimes, because I've been just so deep down this, like, I shouldn't have watched that whole series of that Valo woman.
Okay, well, Xander says he can't afford the apartment. Anya gets upset. Giles is like visited by this demon who's looking for the Slayer, and he identifies it as Toth, a demon named Toth. Somebody who didn't approve their name being used on this says, I always visualize Sunnydale as being like somewhere near Santa Barbara. Me too.
Really?
So, yeah. And BJ did not know that West Covina is a real place. The Scoobies go to the city dump. They're trying to find the demon, and they find Spike digging through trash. The demon shows up. Oh, I love that bit where they're like, have you seen the demon? He looks like this, whatever. And Spike's like, you mean the guy standing behind you right now? The demon
it makes me so mad when they marginalize Spike like that. Use him. He is a funny character.
I know. Spike is very underused for now, but he becomes way more prominent very soon.
Well, yeah, because someone, woke up from their nap.
Yes.
On the writers' team, use him.
The demon hits Xander with this rod and knocks him with like the lightning from this rod that he had dipped in a cauldron in the beginning.
I saw.
And it knocks him to the ground. He gets up, he walks off with the rest of the gang. The demon has disappeared, but then there's still a Xander lying in a pile in the trash. So this Xander is
is horrible. You have trash Xander and Xander who gets up and walks away. I don't think this is a kind episode.
Well, the next morning, Xander wakes up at the city dump and he realizes that his double is there at his house. And Spike, we also see that Spike has put together a Buffy mannequin that he beats up. For now, he beats it up. Because he has a lot of mixed feelings toward the Slayer, as we're
marginalized. Spike has been marginalized. I think his character is underdeveloped.
Yeah. One of these Xanders is really confident and observant, and he gets a promotion. He signs the lease for the apartment. He has a date with Anya. He's like a charmer. He's like the sweet, charming.
I'm
Xander.
So sorry. Do you mean he's together, Xander? Because what's happened is Trash Xander and Together Xander have separated.
Yes.
because inside every man is a trash human and a together human is what I am understanding from this storyline.
Yes. Will says, why is Riley not written out of the show yet? He brings nothing. I agree.
Facts.
Um,
All they do is like kiss in awkward places to make everyone uncomfortable.
The other Xander is super like aloof and emotional and whatever, but you know, still the sweet Xander. And he watches all this happen, and he goes up and he confronts his body double.
He also can't find a bar of soap either anywhere.
Yeah, they have this confrontation. They run off, and Xander talks to Buffy, and Buffy's like, "I'm gonna go kill this." This is like clean Xander, not trash Xander. Clean Xander is like, he's like, I'm gonna go, and Buffy's like, I'm gonna go and kill this other Xander. So like trash. Can we just call him Trash Xander for the rest of the episode?
That he is coined forever as Trash Xander when he does that.
So Trash Xander goes to Willow and explains, "There's this guy. He's taking over my life. You know, he's living my life better than I am. So like, what the hell is going on?" And he's like, but then he's like, well, he's going after Anya, so I can't allow him to go after Anya. Like, even though he is clearly a better Xander than I am. So Anya and Clean Xander just talk about
he's together Xander, because what he is showcasing a nice young man who has his shit together, can rent an apartment, can take care of himself, maybe could make it through a Costco adventure solo. You know, he is together Xander.
Yeah. So Anya and fake Xander, I'm sorry, Anya and
Trash Xander.
No. Anya and Clean Xander are
Together
discussing
Xander.
their future. Yes. And Anya's like, I don't know if we're going to live together forever. She feels very mortal because she has this arm injury from the last episode when Harmony tossed her around. Giles finds out that the rod that the demon used to split Xander into two Xanders actually made two real Xanders. One has the weak qualities and the other has the strong qualities of Xander. And that the demon had initially wanted to split Buffy into two and do the same thing with Buffy. So it would be easy. And basically, if he kills the weak Buffy, then the strong Buffy dies too, because it takes both parts of that to be one whole person. Yeah. And it's easier to kill weak Buffy than it is to kill strong Buffy, as so many people have learned who haven't realized that guns exist yet.
Would she also be considered Trash Buffy?
She would have been Trash Buffy. I would say that Beer Bad Buffy is probably Trash Buffy.
No, Beer Bad Buffy was a blast. She had so much fun that night. So you don't know what you're talking about.
BJ calls him Xander Prime.
Xander
There you go.
Prime. Is that Trash Xander? Who is Xander Prime? There's too many. Listen.
Okay, let's just say we have Trash Xander and Clean Xander. So
okay.
Trash Xander crashes this date between Xander and Anya at the apartment. Anya is kind of confused at first, and then she's like, "Nope, I'm with the clean one." And
good choice, girl.
And Xander and Clean Xander's like, okay, I'll take care of Trash Xander really quickly. And Trash Xander is like, yeah, it'll be real fast. And he pulls out a gun because finally people in Sunnydale have realized that guns could solve a lot of their problems.
It's not wrong.
Yeah. Buffy shows up. She tells the guy, both Xanders, the truth about their situation, and she convinces them not to kill each other. The demon shows up.
But can we just comment on Clean Xander's ability to like flick that gun and pop out the bullets like he's G.I. Joe Xander again?
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
And that was
Brilliant.
Anya's gun. We find out Anya bought a gun because of course she did.
I don't understand a lot of her logic, but I'm okay with her being there.
You'll get it.
Okay.
The Xander halves Toth shows up. Buffy and Riley kill him. The Xander halves start to get along, and they're super similar to each other when they're around each other. So this idea that they're both kind of the same person, and I love what Giles says, that Xander's a bad influence on himself. It was very cute.
Yeah, he is, because Trash Xander should not be teaching Clean Xander his bad habits.
Giles and Willow come up with a way to reunite the Xander halves, but Anya wants to have a threesome with them. She wants to have a threesome with Clean Xander and Trash Xander.
Which... sidebar trivia question, like sidebar,
why did they let her do it? That's my thought. Why did they just let her do it?
I feel I don't. I don't know. I feel like if I were in that situation, like I would be jealous of myself. So I could see that being like a problem for someone like me. But like you go ahead, Brandon. You go, Glen Coco. You do what you need to do. But isn't Nicholas Brendan an identical twin? Is that his brother at the same time, or is that a green screen?
I was going to bring that up in our trivia. That is his twin brother Kelly Donovan, who we are working on setting an interview up with this week to add on to this episode. So,
oh snap!
Yes. Yes, which will be very nice to have. I'm waiting to hear back from a few people, but yes. You asked if I would be jealous of myself. Under no circumstances would I be jealous of myself, unless when I split in half, my weight was evenly distributed amongst the two halves, in which case, problem solved. I would be very thin, but whatever.
If I could do that, I would. I feel like that's a great compromise.
I would tolerate
be trash Jewel for that.
I would tolerate being the trash person.
100%. I'd be trash Jewel.
I am trash Brandon. I feel like there's another
it's
Brandon
already
running
happened.
around. Yes, there's another Brandon running around. He's super successful. He can stay in one place without going crazy, and he does things like not review TV shows from 25 years ago for his free time.
No, because he's like, yeah, I get it. Because Jewel, Clean Jewel is actually successful.
Yeah, like my Us copy, like from the movie Us, like that guy probably should take my spot. They are very effective down there. You did not see that movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The movie
I don't watch scary things.
Oh, fair enough. So
my life is scary enough, Brandon. I can't add more fear.
BJ asked if Clean Brandon could live at his house. No, BJ. Clean Brandon has his shit together. Doesn't have to live with BJ.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this BJ is that we are the trash versions of ourselves already. So the clean versions are living somewhere successful.
Yeah, Joel lives at home and I don't live anywhere.
Oh, God, trash Jewel. How did we get here?
Trash Brandon. So Giles and Willow. Oh yeah, I already said that.
No, wait. Secondary question. Sorry. Follow-up question to that other. Which one is trash Xander and which one is clean Xander? Is it Kelly or Nicholas?
Kelly is clean Xander, but also Nikki plays clean Xander in some scenes. It's only the scenes when they're together. If I remember correctly, it would be a good question that we can ask them. But as far as I understand, clean Xander is anytime he's with trash Xander is Kelly, and Nikki is trash Xander. So yes. So
there is something I want to say so badly, but I don't know if it has to be cut out.
I don't want to cut anything else out, so save it for the after show. Okay. They don't allow Anya to have her threesome, which is not cool, by the way. Like, what it would have been 5 more minutes. It's not like they would have exploded.
Is that something that twins do, though? I feel like I wouldn't want to. If
maybe we should ask some twins. Let's not.
Okay, you have to ask him.
Okay,
you have to ask him.
I'm sure everyone for their entire lives has asked them that. I don't know any twins, but I bet you.
Well, I feel like it's actually a question we could ask him because it's thematic with the story.
BJ says, "Didn't we discuss this in our first Nikki interview?" I don't even remember our first Nikki interview. That was 6 months or a year ago.
All I remember is I told him I had a 40% approval rating on his life's work.
Yeah, and I think that was on the pack, which was 5 episodes in. Anyway, Willow ends the spell. Xander is one person again. Xander and Riley are talking. Riley's like, "I love Buffy. Buffy doesn't love me," and that's the end of the episode. So before we get to our final thoughts, let's talk about a little bit of trivia. As we said, Kelly Donovan, Nikki's twin, plays his body double in this. It says in almost all of the scenes, Nicholas Brendan played both suave and goofy Xander, while his brother Kelly Donovan playing the double with a non-speaking role. So they actually alternated. That's interesting. Kelly only spoke in the scenes where both Xander has had speaking lines. And Jane Espenson wrote the demon's name as Toth, so that she could work in a joke because about Toth being a British slang, which I don't think it is a British slang.
I have no idea.
And apparently this episode was written by Jane Espenson as an homage to the Star Trek episode The Enemy Within, in which Kirk is split into his 2 emotional halves. Let's do some foreign language titles.
That's called copying a story.
Yes. Let's do two. Let's do foreign language titles. The Finnish title is Jakautunut persona, or split personality. The German title is Der Doppelt Xander, or the double Xander. I like it.
Doppelt.
The Italian title is Due gocce di acqua, 2 drops of water.
No, that's stupid. The Doppelt is my favorite.
Yeah, the Doppelt. Let's do one more. Here we go. The Spanish title is Mi Doble, or My Double. It's cute. It's like
the Doppelt is the best.
My body, my double, and me. Okay, so final thoughts, letter rating, go.
I think you should go first.
Okay. This episode. Okay, so first I'm going to say my good stuff, and then my bad stuff, and then I'm going to give a rating because I have it broken down and do a couple things. The good stuff is the stuff between the two Xanders is really fun and really well written and really cute. I like Trash Xander more than Clean Xander. I like his scenes with Willow where he's trying to prove to Willow that he's actually Xander. He does the Snoopy dance and whatever. Really cute. It's kind of a episode that isn't really necessary to the plot except the big reveal at the end that Riley knows that Buffy doesn't love him. And the sort of insecurity of Anya, who's also great in this episode, if a bit whiny, more whiny than I like my Anya to be. The stuff I don't like is anything with Willow in it. She really phoned in this episode. It was like a season 1 episode. Her acting is really terrible in this. So I love Allison, but just saying like it is. So I would give this episode, I'm going to go ahead and say like a B-. I thought it was really fun. Jewel.
All right. Okay. I needed to gather myself on this one because I felt as if this episode was quite unnecessary. I didn't like anything about it. Wasn't anything special to me. It wasn't anything spectacular. It didn't move the plot along at all. I thought the Riley thing could have been done, I don't know, last episode. I still don't understand why Dawn is there. I definitely am not understanding why Tara is still there because she's going to be an evil bitch in 30 seconds. I feel like she's going to flip and turn. Something is happening to Tara. I don't like her attitude.
Has Tara become your Jenny Calendar?
Yeah. No, well, not yet because she hasn't scorned me the way that I felt Jenny Calendar did.
Okay.
I don't feel as personally burned by her as I do Jenny or the ghost of Jenny. Anything about Jenny Calendar, even when she's, the Romanian. I don't get why Tara's there. I don't get it. I don't get why she's a person. Yeah, I don't understand why Dawn is there. And I don't understand why we're pretending like, oh, yeah, she's been there the whole time. No, I feel like we're starting over. Something weird has happened. And I thought the two Xander story was lame. I feel like they've kind of fallen off on the Xander character. Yeah. I feel like they tried so hard to make Adam a thing that they forgot there were other characters.
Will says in the comments, or said a little bit earlier, that like this episode is needed because Xander has grown so much as a character and we've seen him grow so much. I just wish they give him more to do in his solo episodes that are actually important to the story. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you.
I agree. I agree with that. I think that's a good addition to what I was saying. I agree. I wish they would give him something more and better. I think it was great and challenging for him to have to act with his brother. I think that's always fascinating. But also I want Xander to be better. I don't need to see him being a trash human. Like, why can't he be clean Xander all the time? Like, have your shit together. Give us a little faith in the male species. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your letter rating?
Oh, it's a C+. It was good. It's all right.
Yeah, it was fine. It was what it was. Before we get into talking about our Angel episode, let's talk about our Patreon. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/GAC podcasts. And you can join there for $5 a month. You get unlimited access to all of the podcasts on our network, which we have a West Wing podcast. We have this one. We have several coming up, including a cool 90s podcast that Jewel and I are going to co-host.
Someday.
Soon. We've all had a little bit of chaos in our lives. So this is, it's coming together.
Ridiculous. What has gone on with the moons and shit?
But we're back on track with the Buffy show. We're going to be back on track with everything else in the very near future. $5 a month. You can join our private Facebook group. You get exclusive access to watch the live podcast as we're recording them, like right now. And you can comment, and we talk about what you have to say as well. Also, anyone who signs up, you'll come and co-host an episode with us, which we're really excited to get back into doing that in a moderated way because we got a little out of hand when we had like 5 people on at once.
It was too much for me. I was overstimulated.
Yes, me too. So we're bringing it back to the basics, but we do want to have guest hosts come back on at some point. Hopefully, in the near
because
future.
Brandon and I are boring, and we need a little spice in our.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think we're pretty cool, but that's just what I think. So
do you think we're that much fun? I think we're fun.
Patreon.com/GAC podcast, and we'll see you over here in the private Facebook group. Okay, Joel, let's talk about first impressions. Cordelia has a vision in which Gunn is fighting for his life. With Angel spending larger amounts of time asleep thanks to Darla's influence, Cordelia can't wake him and ends up going to help Gunn by herself. Gunn and Cordelia then spend the episode together trying to find a demon, Divac, from Cordelia's vision and also search for Angel's stolen car. So, go ahead, hon.
Did everyone know that was Darla?
Yes.
Okay.
So the episode opens again. We're back at the karaoke bar. I love the karaoke bar. Anything that takes place there is good for me. Angel is there. He's talking to the host, who we later learn is named Lorne, and we learn the bar's named Caritas. And they leave.
Does this bar like show up a lot, Brandon? Like, do we spend a lot of time here?
Yeah.
Do people sing a lot more? There's sad.
No, there's not tons more singing. I think we get a song from Darla and a song from Lindsay. I don't remember if anyone. I don't think Cordelia sings. I think a character you haven't met yet will sing at some point, but that's it. There's only like maybe 3 or 4 more songs.
I feel like in the beginning of our podcast, I got confused between Drusilla and Darla.
So Drew is the one that you like, the crazy one with the dolls.
Yeah.
Darla's
I thought
the one that
she was going to be an angel.
She will, but not yet.
God, because I got to tell you, I don't believe I like Darla so much at the beginning, and I'm still not really into her, and I find her to be a bit annoying.
Yeah, Darla is the first main character that we meet in the original pilot of Buffy. She's the very first one, which is very cool.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so Darla and Angel are dancing. They are making out. They're having a good time, and then Angel wakes up. It was a dream the whole time. Cordy and Wes are cleaning and organizing the new office. Gunn shows up and is like, "Hey, where's Angel?" And they're like, "He's sleeping."
I love Gunn.
You can't get enough of Gunn.
I love Gunn.
You love a gay guy. It's always what it is. He's gay in real life. J. August Richards. Yeah, he came out last year.
I adore him. He's my favorite right
now. So Angel wakes up and David Nabbit, who is their like billionaire friend who I barely even remember from the last season.
Is that why they get to be in a castle?
In a hotel, yeah. He's like,
I'm
going to help you open this hotel. So the whole gang goes and meets up with a man named Jamil to find information about a demon named Divac. Gunn is pissed off because Jamil won't talk, but a pack of vampires stops Gunn from getting answers. They kill the vampires. Everyone complains about their injuries. Cordelia drops Angel off and goes home, and she gets a vision that Gunn is in danger. She calls Angel, and obviously Angel is too busy having gross vampire wet dreams. So he's not going to be able to help on this one.
I mean, at least it's not Buffy anymore.
Yeah. And
silver linings.
So Wesley doesn't answer his phone either, so she decides to go help Gunn alone. Again, this whole episode could have been solved if everyone had cell phones. But that
oh my God, couldn't it though?
Yeah. And just like the last episode, the Buffy episode could have been solved with cell phones. So Cordy calls. I already said all that. So she goes to help Gunn, and she finds him fighting with a guy at his place, and she attacks the guy with the blunt end of an axe, and it turns out that they were just in like a sparring session. Because
she didn't turn around and see the 85 other people behind her watching.
Exactly. So Cordy embarrassed him. Gunn tries to get rid of her, but Angel's car is gone. So Gunn's like, okay, I'll help you find the car. Naomi points out that Angel's cell phone was ringing. Yeah, I know, but if everyone had cell phones, it would have been problem solved.
They didn't have enough money to have cell phones yet because the billionaire was helping them open the hotel. He wasn't, so worried about them having communication devices.
Yeah. So Wesley wakes up. Wesley wakes up Angel, and Cordy has taken Angel's car, obviously. So Angel has to ride on Wesley's motorcycle. He has to ride bitch with a pink helmet, which is really cute.
Yeah, but did we also just skip over the fact that Wesley is building, what is it? What was it? A coffin? He was building something. He was hammering a coffin together.
Oh, I don't know.
And then Angel grabs him by the throat and is like, "Rrr!"
Oh, yeah, because he wakes him up. Because he woke him up. And Angel's like, I was with my dream vampire girlfriend lady.
It was just this episode. It's just so weird.
I know.
Who wrote this?
So they go track down the guy who stole Angel's car, and vampires attack that group as well. So Veronica, who's one of Gunn's best friends, is cut by a piece of broken glass, and she is.
And she pulled it out because you're not supposed to do that. If you get wounded, leave it in.
There's a movie that I watched in the mid-2000s called Home at the End of the World. And it had Colin Farrell in it. And it was about, I don't know, it was some gay movie. It was super gay. But one of the main characters walks through a glass door at a party and dies because he gets glass in his neck. And that's what it reminded me of. So Angel and Wesley arrive and they see the aftermath of the party. And they find one of the surviving vampires. Am I right? No. Okay.
No, no, that's not how this. Even paid attention.
That's true. They find Angel's car, and Gunn also finds Divac, and Divac turns into Jamil. Cordelia sprays him with mace, and he lets go of Cordelia and Gunn long enough to revert back to his ugly demon form. Angel and Wesley. And also Gunn had given Cordelia shit about having this mace, and then it ended up being super useful. And he turns back to his demonic form. Angel and Wesley show up to help. Angel attacks Divac with the pink motorcycle helmet, and then kills Divac with Cordelia's axe, which also Gunn had given her shit about having the axe. And Cordy warns Gunn that he was the one in danger in her vision because of the unnecessary levels of danger that he puts himself in on a daily basis. And she wants to help him not destroy himself. Angel has a dream that he's back in the hotel and Darla's there to comfort him. He sleeps in dreams and is having dream sex with Darla. And then it turns out that Darla is actually in Angel's room, crawls over his bed, and makes out with him. It's this mental game thing. So here we go. Andy Howlett sings a song "Get Here" by Oleta Adams at the beginning, the host of the karaoke bar, and I love that song, and I just want to say that. Cordelia is wearing a identical outfit to the one that Buffy wore in 2 episodes that I don't believe that you've seen yet. Interesting enough. Yes, these are both later season 5 episodes. Her outfit in this is one that Buffy wears later. So they're sharing wardrobe with the
Angel cast, obviously.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. There's not tons of trivia on this one. The German title is Die Stunde das Divac, or The Hour of the Divac. And the French title is Première Impression, or First Impressions.
Right.
Okay, so final thoughts, letter rating. You go first.
Ugh, Angel. We had such a high last week, and
which, by the way, before you say that, JP Manu, who plays the evil bellman in Angel, direct message us on Twitter and tell us how much he loved our review of his episode, which is super cool.
He was the best part of that episode. Actually, yes. I really even liked the old lady. She was great. The young lady who made the old lady who didn't leave the. How did she live in that hotel to that ripe old age of 100,000 when it was closed? How did she eat?
70s.
Yeah, but how did she eat? Where was the food?
I don't know. Maybe mice.
Magic of television. Anyway, thank you, Bellman. You're fabulous. Now, this episode of Angel really took a serious revert and nosedive back to its original shitty beginning.
What's your final rating on this one?
D.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same. I wouldn't say it's stupid. It's just pointless.
D for don't need to watch it ever again.
Yeah, exactly. It would be an F if it was bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just who cares, you know?
It was scrap stories of this week. They were constant. They each had their own week, and this is the one they were doing together. So they were trying to outshine each other on their individual weeks, and this is a co-script. So
and
no
the
one
whole concession of like, I have to save you from yourself because you're living this dangerous life. Like, bitch, do you know who you work for? Like, what are you talking
come
about?
on, Cordelia, shove it. You can tell Joss doesn't like her now. Like, you can. Sorry. You know, it was like he started
I don't
writing
like her either anymore.
Her character is so shitty now. She was so great for so long. She's one of my favorite characters in both series. And now I'm just like, you whiny. Come on. Where is your sense of adventure?
Joel, we have no Whedonverse birthdays this week at all. We have no, I shouldn't say that name anymore. Sorry. We have no Buffy or Angel birthdays anymore. None. Not this week. But however, next Sunday is Larry Bagby's birthday. So
happy birthday, Larry.
And we will be back on Saturday. We're recording an episode this Saturday instead of Sunday because I have to fly on Sunday. And we will be covering the Buffy episode Out of My Mind and the Angel episode Untouched. So stick around, kids. We got a whole lot more to go. I'm really
either get better or a whole lot worse.
Yeah, and for those of you in the private Facebook group, keep an eye out for the announcement about the interview. We'll hopefully be doing that later this week. And I had promised people in the Facebook group that I would read my coming out letter to my mother that I wrote 20 years ago and haven't looked at since. I will be doing that sometime tonight on our Patreon page. So
God,
yeah, I have never read it since. I have no idea how melodramatic or ridiculous it is. But I was like 13, so it's probably pretty bad.
I'm so uncomfortable.
It'll be fun. All right.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Girl arc,
Thank
bitches.
you. Girl
gang.